Hades Game Review, Part 1. Okay, so when my boyfriend showed me this game initially, I was, how you say, a little skeptical. Mostly because it looked like yet another dungeon crawler, which was trying to be Deadcells, and maybe not really doing anything new. Well, about 107 hours later, I can tell you that I was horrendously wrong. As great as Deadcells is, this game is better. And if you like that, you're gonna love this. Buckle up, kids. Let's talk about the new best dungeon crawler. First of all, the game is quite easy to pick up. There are a few basic attacks and some things that branch off from there. Basically, once you've got the button mashing down, you can get to the boons, which are like flavors that you give your attacks. Basically, this means that every chamber you go through, you may or may not be looking for specific boons to build that perfect attack. Yes, this is hella nerdy, and that said, it's unspeakably fun. Something to note here is that the game is also remarkably good at shaking up your playstyle. Next, the plot is actually compelling. Books, for the time being, still do characters better, but games like this make it clear that the time is coming when video games become king of crafting lovable, relatable, dateable, or hateable characters. The stories of the characters in Hades feel important as you play, and it's a high commendation to say that what's going to happen in the story is actually a big driving force behind keeping you playing the game. The only other game that's even sort of done this well that I know of is Breath of the Wild. Next, there are the weapons, which are basically broken down into 6 categories, and each of those 6 categories has multiple subcategories. Basically, you never run out of cool shit to whack stuff with. After that, we've got characters. How much thought went into each character and to creating the boons for each character, I'm saying the word boons a lot, bear with me, is really striking. Not only are the characters well developed, but the voice acting for this is something which really stands out in this game. This was obviously something that was very important to the creators and one which has been executed remarkably well. Maybe not Dirk Maggs well, but frankly it's impressive that they came so close. Also, I love that you can do gay shit. Turns out our boy Zagreus is canon bisexual. You can date death. How fun.
You beat me once again.
About when we last spoke, I care about you, Thanatos, a lot. Though you asked what you are to me, how am I supposed to even answer that?
I don't know. Sometimes I miss not feeling anything. Can't always trust what feelings say. I get to thinking, are we only friends, or... Look, this is embarrassing.
To think discussing feelings would be even harder than annihilating Father's forces. But I've been asking myself the same thing, Than, if it's any reassurance.
Also, the characters are hot, but like in a feminist way. Respect for making the dudes as hot as the she-dudes. I haven't really peeked into that corner of the internet yet, but you know the fan art for this is going to be thirsty, and frankly, I'm not mad about it. Visually, this game is a lot like Deadcells in that the color palette is vibrant and bright and kind of rainbowy, except in this case it's cooler and it's got more fully developed characters. Next, maps. Now, these are very easy on the eyes, and they're also just the right amount of random. Basically, there are a bunch of different versions of each room in each level, and this means that we can have gorgeous rooms and maps without getting bored of them. And as much as I love Deadcells and its claim to totally random maps, I have to say that this does what they're trying to do very well, and it looks nicer. Sorry, Deadcells. Additionally, the bosses are really fun. They're unique and they keep you guessing. Okay, next is something that really sticks close to my heart, something that I love a lot. This is God mode. Okay, so I was getting a little bogged down in this game and I'd hit kind of a wall and it was starting to feel like work. Imagine my delight when I discovered God mode. Basically, this just makes you tougher and a little bit more damage resistant every time you die. This is for babies, and I'm a baby, and sometimes I don't want to spend days of my life trudging through the valleys of Mordor. Sometimes I just want to focus on the story, and this lets you do that. I also love that you can play the game after you finish the main quest, like the really important thing that you have to do. You can do that, and then you can play the game afterwards, which is really nice. Looking at you, Breath of the Wild. Ultimately, it's great because there's just a shit ton to discover and do in this game, but it comes across in a way that feels bite-sized and manageable. Think sipping from a straw instead of drinking from a fire hydrant. Lastly, this game, it's just flashy, modern, it's fun, creative, and most of all, it's habit forming. I've spent a lot of time on this, and frankly, it's brought me a lot of joy, and that is exactly how I like it. And that's pretty much where I am with this. Oh, side note, last thing. I learned a lot about mythology, and I had no intention of learning, so fuck you, and thank you for making a beautiful game. Please make more. Okay, everybody, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching. I'm BRBTG, and as always, I'll be right back.